towards a long position, maybe going for early picks towards mid, maybe trying to be aggressive towards long. So I can kind of see where it's coming from.
Blair, Maui, final predictions, please.
Astralis 2-0.
I'm going to go 2-0, but it's going to be double digits for complexity on both maps.
Okay, everybody, it's our second match of Group C here at ESL Pro League Season 16. Of course, we need some talented casters to carry us all through it. Henry G and Sponge, over to you.
Thank you very much, Paolo. We're loving the Hunter x Hunter anime shirt you have on there. The ant art does suck, but the shirt is great.
One of us is loving it. Don't know what any of that means.
It's actually Jujutsu Kaisen. That was the whole gag, you know, that thing. I know. Anyway, anime aside, maybe we have a couple of protagonists in the server here today. Henry, buys are coming through, and I know you love a pair of Julies.
I do now. You've been kind of forcing me to use them the last couple of days in our games, and I have to say, it's been a great bit of research.
I'm a vending machine for the Julies.
Yeah, I'm now on board with the idea. They are very effective, and the fact you have 30 bullets, you know what? It feels great. So I take it all back, and I'm on board with Team Berettas. As we get into it, Astralis, of course, this is not their pick, so they'll be starting on the CT side. They've got a smoke and a flashbang. The rest of the players with armor, and of course, there's dual Berettas for Blame F. And in terms of the T setup, a couple of P250s, a couple of smokes, a couple of flashes, and we're heading towards B. No resistance so far.
Yeah, decent probing so far as Grim's going to be flashed forward to initiate a peek. And, well, he's looking for fights here, actively looking for fights, and nothing being obliged just yet. Smoke towards CT is going to apply a bit more pressure towards this B defense, but nobody rotating yet as Grim peers in, takes the jewel he was looking for, and JT can start working with this information. It is a passive stance on the site. How do they want to finish here? Both sides of the map are very, very tight on the defense here.
Yeah, they've given them a lot of real estate. Middle and banana control. Edging their way up towards the A bomb site. Floppy, got that P250 as well. Who will blink first? Who will break? As we send in the 5-man attack, it's going to be the CTs defending here. Towards headshot we go, and they are being dealt out in buckets and spades here. Glaive, Farlig, and Config join the fragging rags, and it's looking all too easy for Astralis here. Just Floppy remains. That slow, composed approach comes crumbling down around them, and at this point is looking for any sort of souvenir kills, Chatter. You might even be knifed here. And there we have it.
I'm disappointed. The Julies didn't get any action.
They rarely do.
They didn't get any at all.
Yeah.
What's going on?
You hate to see it, but I guess they're normally designed with the tighter choke points, and we didn't really see them enter some of those. So either way, no bomb plant comes through. Complexity only find one kill. You'd think with these players jumping down, the world would be their oyster, but Config denies him any sort of access. Nice little flash there from Glaive, and confirms that final kill in towards the smoke. That was Floppy, unable to make that P250 sing. So Desert Eagles across the board for Complexity. Bare bones in terms of utility. They've got 4 smokes, a couple of flashes, and they'll explore their options towards Banana once again. It's Grim looking for the opening 1-tap, but he's been flashed off. Config does spot him, but no damage inflicted.
Well, the biggest issue right now, I think, is the utility here and the fact they've been peppered up through the smoke. JT down to 11 points of health. There's more damage to come their way. Flashes continue to bombard as Logson, the broom position, will be their hidey hole for now. And you can see the response from Grim, trying to alleviate some pressure top mid. If they're going to be playing this aggressive, what's going on is we do see a nice off the top of the skybox incendiary there to crowd control mid, and Farley, he's got back out.
Yeah, they've retaken the position. So now just making sure that the terrorists aren't waiting on the other side in full formation. They're actually probing towards B this time, and Blamef more than happy to stand tall and fight back. He should be able to get the first one, no problem. The second, not so much. Zipex will confirm the second kill, but does he decide to fall back? Indeed he does. So he's going to be jumping up towards first oranges, inviting them in towards the B bomb site where he'll have backup from Config, who's waiting at CT spawn.
2-2 split's nice here, right? The fact that they do still have Glaive top mid, he has the buddy system of Farley not too far behind, and now Config and Zip just have to deal the dud hand now to Complexity. The step out is perfect from Config. The smoke is even better. The bomb is going to be on the other side. He didn't even need the smoke. Didn't even throw it. He just considered, save this $300. So beautiful round, and now it is going to be Complexity stomaching what is likely to be a 3-0 start from Astralis, the team once upon a time who defined how this map is meant to be played. It's been a long time since then.
That's a very good point. I remember saying that in, 2018? They're saying, well, they've kind of redesigned the banana utility. They've shown us the power of the HE grenade. I don't think really anyone spoke about HE grenades until Astralis showed us how potent they could be, right?
Precisely. And we were having a bit of a utility damage conversation last week with NIP, just how poor some of their situation was, right? Able to reflect there. But really, it's only become a big talking point. It is a good flash, but this is even better. Just straight into the blender. Fang somehow gets 2 P250 kills. Now, the question is, what can they scavenge off the ground here? They've already been cottoned off. You can see the push down banana here. There's going to be so much pressure from Blame F. They just want to make sure they don't give away any more casualties right now, and Blame is going to confirm that alongside a Zip. So a great little lockdown, all good in the hood, no dramas there, and a 3-0 start. But a couple of shaky moments. But this is where we really get to see what this Complexity team is bringing to the table.
Well, the new signing, the new sniper, Holzerk will bring out his favorite weapon for the first gun round here, AWP in hand. A couple of kills there for Fang as well. One of the key fraggers of this team, I would say, Chad. Looking for him to pop off. They're going to stand a chance in this best of 3.
Yeah, I think Fang, Grim, and Floppy, we always just want to see a little bit more. You know, one of these guys needs to separate themselves from the rest, and not in a way that, you know, they want to leave their teammates in the dust. Just they need a superstar, but here we go. Seeing stars. Astralis. Throw on blows down Banana. JT with the AK out. In-game leader action here as JT will dispatch a Glaive. Config with the trade back, but look at the space. This is a huge gap, and they're not ready for the AWP. Hauser, perfect play.
That is great. It's Config now, stuck between a rock and a hard place. The bomb's in front of him, though, however. Fang on very low HP, needs to be incredibly careful with. Config gets both of these kills, and a lot of trouble. Does the swing come out? Apparently not. Config changes his efforts here, but surely going to be dead momentarily.
How is he still alive? There's no pressure coming from Banana at all.
Please go down. That was looking a little bit troublesome there for the Complexity side, but you're right. They spot that gap, they capitalize upon it, and what a great shot there from Holzerk. Very confident.
You need to be able to identify if it's a 3 banana hold early, exactly like that. And we do see these players making heads-up maneuvers now. If you're seeing a 3 play over towards banana, then there's usually going to be a gap towards that long side. If there's not, there might be a gap towards apartments or short. And here, just able to pip that perfectly. So great work for Complexity to get on the board early.
I dare say that is a bit of a bonus situation, though. Bear in mind, we had the MP9 coming into that round. They're trying to solidify their foundations. They win that with a bit of a gambit towards the bottom of banana, sacrificing a couple of players, perhaps. That would be amazing. It's not the end of the world. It didn't work out. They're going to save the AWP and the M4 here. A little bit sketchy from Complexity to close things out. Config surviving for way too long, but the headline is 4 players surviving the first gun round. Hold that thought. There's a chance here. Grenade will find a kill at least.
It looked like the grenade was following there for a second.
Yeah.
Blame fortunate to stay alive, and that was an important save. You can see there he doesn't have a whole lot of cash to his name if he had to rebuy, but smiles already out of Fang & Co. So good to see Complexity in good spirits here on Maltese shores. We know Graham Pitt is with them as well. We've seen him.
That's true. Looking forward to seeing more of him. He did say he joined us in the commentary booth at one point. We have got a third microphone.
So we might have to get
maybe
him
not for the
here.
first game, but as the week develops.
We'll see how they're playing, because if it's an absolute bit of a shocker, then he might want to stay away. But if things are looking all right, maybe we bring him in.
Well, this is looking all right. Farlig actually pushing towards the apartments there with the AWP. Lots of information, but it's all for naught if he goes down. Definitely doesn't. Floppy doesn't predict it. Another HE coming through. Luckily, doesn't connect as well. The man advantage. And Zipex will just be deploying that smoke back to his teammate to allow him to buy some more time here. He's using the pixel peek. And there's a smoke. JT's effort. I was about to say thwarted. It's actually a terrible smoke as well. He lines them up, knocks them down, and that's the B bomb side wide open. Couple of mistakes there.
Yeah, bringing Sexy back early here. Mr. JT, he's in the building. Nice nade. Glaive knows that he needs to stay quick on this, and Config's actually found a freebie, so hold up a second. This one's got more to be said. He wants to get on this smoke, but it's in the flames. They're going to be able to stall out this plant for now, and Farlig's opening. Maybe it's not all for naught. He's setting up a flash. He's gone back towards the well.
Yeah, it's going to be a hell of a flash as well.
Make a wish.
We'll see whether it connects. Glaive.
Emo Molly here.
Oh, that's towards Emo, you're right. So, here comes a flashbang. Their attempts. JT feeling the heat. He'll have to fight in the open. He's hit a couple of bangers so far. Can he keep it up? He absolutely can. That's his 3rd kill of the round. It looks like it could be enough. Down to the 2-on-2. Config retaken from Coffins. They have no kit though, Chad.
It's a bit of an issue here. Farlig needs a pep in the step. They're both going to take the swing. This is Config's chance to initiate, and he can't get it done. Grim will win the round. Might even want to get that all for Halzerk, but great stuff. JT, the man in the middle of your screen, the hero of this one, the in-game leader. Banana action and traction yet again. Yeah, huge shout out to him. One of the players that doesn't get many mentions. He's not one of the big fraggers, but my God, does he get the job done there. You have to say it looked a bit clumsy, Chad, there from the CTs. The fact that smoke was so poor, you could see like it was a great job on JT, but then this opportunity arises. He doesn't necessarily see him, but he's got all the reference points he needs to get a nice educated guess towards CT spawn. A little bit disappointing from Astralis there. And you can see that look on the face says it all from the big man. M4 for Blame. And an eco elsewhere. P250s, 5.7, no armor. Hoping they can make something of the round. Config's actually very lucky to have gotten through that far without taking any spam damage, and Floppy might not clear this corner. Exactly. Okay. So the spam's
That's
meant to deal with that. The fact that Config's got in and got out undetected here, the execute is coming his way. They're actually wrapping long into Glaive, the P250. Very aggressive, but JT again, he's been putting in the deathmatch hours, it seems.
Yeah, he looks sharp. So round 6, it was looking like a lock-in for Complexity, but now a few question marks surround it. 3 rifles in total though. Config with the AK-47, still healthy as you like, 100 HP. They're contained to the pit for now. They need to find access towards the A bomb site. Can they get it? Zipx trying to provide the covering fire, but with no armor, he takes a lot of damage there.
Oh, and the smoke's starting to fade. This is Config's chance. The bomb would have been at his feet, but Grim clotheslines him, and maybe that's enough. They really want to consider looking in here. The elbow spotted, the shot taken, and just blame the man who saved, saving again.
Yeah, this was the only rifle purchased, actually. Didn't do any damage so far. It's the P250s of Config and Zipx finding frags, but it's ultimately well handled.
Hero M4, why? I don't understand the thought process behind this.
On the T side, you kind of get it with the AKs, right? Because you're looking to get a bomb plant. You can't really find the same sort of result with an M4 on the CT
Not like
side.
a player like Blame either, right?
No.
If it's someone a bit more agile and mobile, like a Config or a Glaive, sure. You do turn to Blame to, well, get the majority of the firepower here. He's actually on the tail of 2, so some kills wouldn't be too bad. Steps around the corner, takes the first, and can't get the second, so sharp shooting and the AWP retained again, so good stuff.
If he had got both those players and denied the AWP, that would have been really worth it. Ultimately, this loses the M4 towards the end. Is JT once again getting the job done. This was a fantastic shot from Grim. Solidified the round, and Halzerg watching the flanks. And you can see they're composed still. Haven't lost their heads just yet. We'll see more subdued Astralis, though.
Well, now Blame's operating with an MP9.
Yeah, it's not ideal, is it?
It's not what we want in the early stages here for the Danes. It wasn't fantastic in map Series 1 for the Danes, so hopefully Series 2 is better.
He plays Banana. It's one of the tighter areas of the map if you get towards sandbags or something like that, but you're right, on the back foot here for sure, and the pace is just increasing as Fang isn't going to force the issue here, but a great shot from Glaive will shut him down. An equal exchange, though, you have to say, in these sort of scenarios where you're spread thin with utility and firepower, 4-on-4, you give it to Complexity.
And look at the radar. Everybody bearing down on Config. He was the lone defender of the A site because, once again, it was a 3-man B site from Astralis. It should be a save call. How are you meant to get back into this unless you find a free kill as they cross the archway here, and they've been able to get across with safe passage? You have to save. You can't justify going for a round like this.
I'm liking this pace from Complexity. This is much different than what we've seen in the ESL Pro League so far in Inferno. It's normally quite slow-paced, focused towards Banana, establishing map control, but Complexity are spotting gaps, tucking tail, going in together, trading out frags, and detecting open bomb sites. This is looking very, very promising.
Yeah, punishing this. And I'm loving the pep of the step with the flashes up top mid.
Yeah, right.
Look, Glaive swung out to cover Config there, but Config was blind, and they were hunting him down. So a good swing from Glaive to at least try and draw something back, but really offered up his life, gets traded, then Config the only man on the site. So right now, Complexity are conditioning Astralis into making sure they have to start in a standard 3-2 defense, right? Traditionally with Inferno, of all the years this map's been played, you would be starting 2 players towards B and 3 players towards A, right? That's how you'd be finding it. But obviously, in the evolution of this game and how good teams have been at taking Banana with Util, right, we see something heroic in the start. I've seen them start 5 players top Banana, lobbing Util down just to get Banana control and then rotate back towards A. We know that there's a lot more variance in the play, but what Complexity are doing regardless is forcing the change of the setup here for Astralis.
Well, Trace has called for the timeouts here. We'll see whether it yields any sort of result. They are going to be buying into the round. Farlig with the AWP. He's one of those snipers we don't talk about so often. It's not down the same vein as, you know, your Zywus for Vitality, you're wonderful for Team Spirit. It's just not that same conversation right now. And I guess that's maybe a problem. We need this AWP to start delivering, and this would be a great time to come online.
Yeah, I think the issue with Farley is he's always going to be in that device shadow. We saw what happened with Lucky in the team and how the AWP got passed around a whole bunch, and I think a lot of us assume a similar fate for poor Farley here. You also heard the desk talking about his performances not really being up to snuff, so that's a problem in itself. But they are going to go with another 3-2 split with the lion's share of the defenses towards B. They might have to force the issue here, so through the fire, through the flames, and into a fight. They've gotten something out of it this time round, as Config and Zip will both produce.
It's a scrappy affair, but ultimately it will be Astralis coming out on top as they claim Banana. They'll be able to upgrade some weapons as well. Find an AK-47 or 2. Nice shot from Halzerg to keep things competitive at least. Found Zipx. Playing left to rotate. Feeling like they've got full control of the Banana area. Config left to his own devices. He's got a smoke as well. I believe he'll probably have some utility behind him as well.
This can go so wrong in so many ways. Because sure, they have a crossfire on top mid here. That's all good. But we can see they've regrouped for bottom banana. If they're able to deal with config, they can get into the site.
Yeah. They might just contact play it as well with no utility. And he is not in a position to get multiple kills. That's the kind of one and done. That will not do. There's the first and the second. So, well, I take it all back, Chad. It's a multi-kill position sometimes, and you can get 3 headshots if you try your best.
But it's always a temperature check with config, right? This is the thing. This guy is inconsistent. That's config's brand, being inconsistent. He can, you know, in the game, in the first, I don't know, 6 or 7 rounds, have 15 kills, or he can have about 3. There's a disparity with config when he enters the server. But if he's on form and hitting shots exactly like this tight little 3-piece, then I think you need to be worried if you're Complexity, because config can be a monster when he's having a good day.
Sigh of relief from config there. He delivers on all fronts as we go 4 and 4. Round 9 coming up here. The bombardment of utility towards banana continues. No one to receive it though. Bomb down in T-spawn for now as we go into more traditional play on the T side. Blame F confirms at the bottom of banana is clear. You have got floppy towards the apartments as well. So yeah, very standard round here for now. Smoke towards the arch side. Grim will deploy that, and we've got Farley underneath the atrium position here.
Very committed.
Flash won't quite get him, but can he connect the dots with the orb shots? We'll see. No, definitely not. That's actually gone horribly wrong.
Yeah, and the molly that they threw for his position also didn't go off. It detonated in the sky. So he actually was given a second chance there.
The advantage.
He should have been mollied out of position. So
and it wasn't like that was a difficult shot, unfortunately. That's a pretty standard one. Sure, you're probably only good for 1 in that spot, but you need to be nailing that first one.
Yeah, definitely needed 1 in that type of committed position. Now, JT can start to turn the screws here. It's going to be still zip over towards B with Blame, who's ahead of the half wall. Be anybody over towards the logs just yet. It's going to be the deep.
Nice work.
Sendry just to clear out close, and that might be enough here. Scratching their head with 30 seconds left. They have to go into this passive stance. Glaive and config bunker down in towards the pit. Oh, and even time with the one-way floppy. What are you meant to do? Jump out, not cleared, not heard. Now there's some issues. It's just the one man in the pit being peppered away. There's flashes to hold him at bay. And over the top comes Grim. He's going to put Glaive in a grave. Oh, Glaive!
He's fighting back here valiantly, trying to buy time, but they'll eventually find him. And, oh, can he close things out? He absolutely can. A captain's performance there from Glaive. I don't know how he survives for so long there, Chad. How did he have the premonition that the player from the graveyard would be above him? He nails the shot.
It just was no intensity on dealing with that position, right? Once they jump in and they clear out that of config, needed a few more bodies to be thrown in Glaive's direction, but you have to credit Blame. Those 2 nice kills being in front of the half wall, not a common clear. And this is the shot we were talking about. So the wide swing, given some of that North American sass right there with the wide swing right in your face. None of those naughty jiggles.
Absolutely true. Looked like Glaive was absolutely done for there, but he fights back, stands on his feet, and it's down to an eco once again. As we'll see the initial shot come through, it's Grim. Takes the bullet to the thigh, down to 10 HP. Oh, they love this established banana control on the CT side. You don't see much of that these days.
I do like the fact that they also have Zip and Blame paired up, because both are more of the passive elements in this roster, but one of them has to be aggressive in banana. And let's be honest about things. Blame is a beast.
Yeah.
That flash is actually well timed and well positioned. It's going to hold JT's vision for now, and Blame gets another multi-kill towards the base of banana. Right, I think this is the same. I could mention any hard lurker in any team, and you could go, at one point, yeah, they probably were baiting, but I think Blame in Astralis, he's been putting everybody on his back and trying to march uphill, and he's been the one consistently putting up performances. If config can be consistent, right, and that's the problem. How long can we keep saying that for? Right, if config can be consistent, that's a real conversation point. And then I think it's about some of these more supplementary members.
When config drops off, he really drops off. That's a real problem. It's either one or the other. I think you're dead on there. For this team to have any sort of future to replicate the past, that really has to happen. You're dead on. But here we go then. 6-4. Astralis fighting back after giving up 4 rounds in a row. They did win the pistol, but things starting to look a little bit greener for them here. As we'll see Farley with the incendiary down towards T-steps, and Astralis has to be said to be battling tooth and nail to gain control of banana each and every time. So they'll throw the initial utility here, but not pushing forward. Good damage towards the in-game leader, JT. And as you can see, they're actually rotating back. They sent 4 players there at the very start of the round. just to use that initial utility, and they'll still have grenades left over to fight back with at the mid stages.
Yeah, this is going to be really important here as wow, just stepping out. Cops the flash. Zip's going to give one over. Blame can stall them for now. The rotation point of Glaive coming back, but do they want to take the fight or do they want to sit on their haunches? Full of shots through, not too far off.
Would have been deadly.
Well, it comes down to this A-hold again, and I hate to say it, Farley, you're going to be called upon once more. All congregating top middle here. They're out of nades. It's just the one smoke on JT, so they're going to have to do this one dry. Farley peers in, and he gets a spot, so the full alert is there, and so is the rotation. Everybody from Astralis to party on A.
No one connecting the shots so far. Glaive will finally land one, but it's still a 4-on-3 advantage towards Complexity. Do they go towards Spawn? Do they try and challenge that position? It looks like yes is the answer. Blame F, though, takes care of him, no problem whatsoever. 3-on-3, 35 seconds. They're committing towards the A side. JT, low HP, will take the bait, and it's floppy to hit. A tremendous shot there. Farley needs a double, but only good for one, and that's leaving Blame F, as we've mentioned a few times here. He'll be holding towards the banana area. He's in a 2 versus 1 with the kit, but no utility. But still, worth a go.
He's rerouted, right? They knew it was over towards Arch. This is the thing. Complexity, as soon as they saw Glaive and Blame's name in the feed, they know that they've made the wrong call on the site here. The penny drops, but they've been able to trade into this. Blame would have to pull off a massive clutch here. JT, very susceptible, might have to keep his head tucked until the first fight is taken, and he swings out, gives Blame the jewel. Now he just has to isolate the last flight. It's floppy. He's on the box, and Blame's going to get it done. That was easy.
Easy as you like. Apparently, he walks in and knows exactly where they are. They're not really in a position to crossfire effectively. If he comes from that quad side, they're in a lot of trouble, and JT makes himself known. 10 HP gets dropped, and then floppy, the pre-fire comes in.
Do you want to know why I think they were so concerned about rotating out of those positions? It was because Blame had showed himself at Arch not that much before they'd taken the side kills, right? They killed players on the site. Blame gets a kill over towards Arch on Grim. They're like, well, he must be around. Why would he go all the way back towards B? So just the time was the killer there for Complexity.
Yeah, the post-plant positions weren't great. Nothing to write home about. You ideally want a player in the pit on the bomb site. Graveyard with such low HP, I see the idea behind it. You can just present your head instead of getting sprayed down, but the angle was very awkward indeed, and it will be Astralis finding their 4th round in a row here. Just one survives, but they've got a nice healthy buy going forward. They'll rebuy with the AWP, and it might be partial buy territory for the North Americans. We'll see.
It looks like Galils are being purchased up here with AKs as well, so they're going to shovel the chips into the center of the table here.
And for the uppercut.
I think that they know if they are able to... It's not going to completely break Astralis, is it? If they can confirm one round, it's going to put them in a sketchy position. I think they know there's a lot of pressure on the economy here.
You don't necessarily want to see a default here. Something like
maybe a B rush. They got a Mac 10 going on Halzak first.
Let's have a look.
Bombs over towards second mid, so cancel the B call.
Farley looking to find that aggression and not connecting once again, but does spot them at least, and maybe saw a rifle, confirms the buys come through.
If at first you don't succeed,
keep going. Keep giving it another go. And good grenades. JT will be removed. Just down to 20 points of health, but it's the apartment's pop. Chad, what do you think about this?
I think that the Mac 10's not there, so I hate it.
That's true, yeah, that's a good point.
Let's give it a go, shall we? Out we go, falling into place as that's the bomb. We'll take that one on the balcony, thank you.
Well, now they're gonna get naded to hell and back, smoked out of position. You're right there, that was the worst weapons for the job. You wanted the Mac 10s up front.
Yep.
Just to take the crosshairs away, allowing the AK-47s to get the precision kills, but that's going to be a walk in the park for Astralis. 1 minute remaining and a 5 versus 3, but not much health between Grim and JT themselves.
This is a good look from Astralis, right? It's hard to kind of pin where these teams were at. We know there's a whole bunch of names in this group who we haven't seen play, Maus being one of them. We obviously have Ents coming later today. You throw Heat as a bit more of an unknown quantity into the mix as well. So this group is up for question, but Astralis are already giving us some answers, and everybody staying alive.
Yeah, you're absolutely right there. And that was the force buy, bear in mind, and it's round number 13. It has to be a partial buy at this point. They've got maximum loss bonus after giving up 5 in a row. Config had all the time in the world to deal with that, it seems, and then Glaive throwing them down. Wasn't too much pressure. Not even blind, Chad. Where are the flashbangs?
Yeah, because Config looking up at the sky, he sees the first one, he dodges that. I think it did more to the teammates of Complexity than it did to Astralis. So some worrying signs here, because Complexity with the flashes is normally the talking point.
Absolutely. JT and his teams, his squads normally have very, very effective flashes. But his Blame F, speaking of effectiveness, this will do nicely. A triple spray down towards T-steps. Harley yet to really connect one of these shots, Chad. I will be honest. It's a difficult one, that one, but there's just lots of missed opportunities we're seeing.
But yeah, we kind of want Farley to be the new Hooksy, right? You know, like let's get him hitting some shots, like everyone celebrating, let's get some copy pastas, let's get it all going.
Let's get it all going.
Let's start with the fanfare.
Fuel the meme machine.
Everyone has a good time with it. The people in chat love it here, but this actually has turned into a little bit of a predicament right now for Astralis. Farley low, bang 2.
Yeah, you're right.
And it's JT. He's still alive, so I'm believing.
He has hit some bangers so far, and there's an AK-47, an incendiary grenade. That will do nicely.
Got his name all over it.
Yeah.
Maybe literally.
Let's see.
I'm actually paying attention to see if it is his AK. It's not, it's Fangs. But that would have been cool if I was right.
JT with the flash. And he's got a smoke as well. He's actually found everything he needs to make something of this round. They'll go back towards B. Who's defending? Mr. Zipex. If he goes down, the round is up in the air. Call it even. They need to get at least one. He should be get this one, no problem. And does considerable damage towards JT. Should be round concluded, but Glaive, backed up by Farley's got 10 HP, bear in mind. It's still definitely possible.
Glaive really needs to consider his options.
Oh, dude.
If he planned a default, he would have got away with it. But it was all those pesky kids and Glaive. In the...
They would have got away with it.
What was the Scooby mode? It wasn't the... What was the name of the mystery van?
The mystery machine, I think.
That's the one.
Yeah?
That's the one.
That's one reference I could help you out with. Scooby-Doo references, chat. I got you all day long.
Where are you?
Anything anime-related or Australian music-based, I can't help you out too much. But that's... I've got under lock and key.
All right, Scooby-Doo. We'll see if we get a couple more references in. But looking a bit shaggy here is Complexity.
Continues.
Highly aggressive again. The run boost. Not too bad as they will test their luck. Dip their toes to the top of the water, and it's too hot for Fang.
The nade narrowly misses out on the target as well. That could have been a kill. Surrounded by smoke and flames, Blame F looks like he's poised to have another go at this one. Half-full grenade does a ton of damage in true Astralis fashion. Spray transfer, though, doesn't quite connect, though. But good information gathered. They've still got 2 players here. Config will drop the incendiary, just buying some time, enable them to establish this setup. We have got Zipex boosted on the first boxes here.
Looks like they're aware of multiple players. You can see that spam over towards Coffins as well, so they can see the trajectory of some of that util. Spamming towards Coffins, telling it 2. This A setup again. Passive stance. They do have the early information on Farley here on the big green. Floppy's going to give some grenades down. Utility over, so we'll take that flash. Thank you very much. And
perfect.
Glaive repositioning in time. Long smoke. Ooh, this is Farley's chance, Henry. This is really his chance here. He's been scared by the smokes in the sky. Maybe thought it was a flash or 2. He's going to peek back out, and that's what we're looking for. Sends them towards the short side, and this repeat from Farley. Beautiful stuff. Silver platter now for Astralis as the repeats keep coming. And the Farley story has another tail as Floppy. He's going to have his between the legs, tuck on back and get on out of dodge.
That's what we're looking for. Just hitting the shots that really count. Nothing too flashy. No flicks required. Good positioning. Bides his time. Hits all 3. And Floppy, he can't do anything with this. Just 7 seconds remaining, so he'll fall back towards T-spawn. He does a little bit of damage there, but AK-47's recovered for Astralis. I dare say they'll go find the AWP.
Instead, I guess they have 10k, 9k.
You're right, they
so
do, yeah. It's the last round coming up, so yeah, keep the AK-47s. Good point.
So everybody will be able to buy, at least on one side of the server, some question marks on the other. Maybe it needs to be another Halzerk Mac 10. But great showing from Blame here. We're getting exactly what we expect from him. He's got 17 kills. Config, 14, 13 for Glaive, 9 for Farley, and 6 for Zip. Taking a quick look at some of the utility damage. Config's got 300 utility damage so far. Blame's almost got 200, 100 for the other 3 or thereabouts. So everything looking fantastic so far.
Oh dear.
So far.
Well, that's not the start they were looking for in round number 15. A fantastic shot from Halzerk, and same story for Grim. He doesn't quite get the kill with the Galil, but gets the dink in and sends Glaive packing. You can see licking his wounds as they try and recover the AWP, and Halzerk's actually got it. Nice work. That's a huge upgrade.
Yeah, the fact that he was able to get that frag and
he deserves it as well. It's his kill.
Yeah, no one taking his AWP, but I guess the biggest question is, what is JT going to call here? Because Astralis are showing a little bit of heroic right now. Very reactive on the rotations. They've completely evacuated the B bomb site here. They're all bunkered down over towards the B side of things. Here was the run boost.
Boost as well.
Yeah, that was not the roller coaster he was buying tickets for, but they've already searched out all this information. They were happy to put config forward because they had so many bodies there. He's got boiler clear, halls clear, top mids clear, and now they have 3 players on B. What a rotation from Astralis.
Still a lot of work to be done here, though, but Blame F, the captain, boosted up. We'll see whether he can spray them down here. Good opportunity. They haven't checked it, but there will be the reply very quickly there, and it looks like Complexity have done enough. 3 versus 2. They isolate the player towards Coffins. Zipex will throw the grenade in return, with the bomb will go down no problem. Config coming in from the flanks here towards Banana. They've established a nice setup here. Great shot from Holzerk. That shuts it down. And presumably the round is over, but Config's onto something here. He's got himself an incendiary. Will lob it in towards new boxes. The flashbang will come over as well. Has to hit this first shot cleanly.
Oh, the pre-fire taps here, looking for these heads. The hardest part is the AWP on the close left. He knows it has to be somewhere nearby, and Halzerk will strike. 10-5, Complexity's map choice here. It's a reasonable half, all things considered.
Yeah, not the best though, and Complexity, I still think there's a few more twists and turns here. They'll have to pull their socks up and show us they can win the pistol in the second half before we start believing. Will it happen though? That's the all-important question. I'll join you and find out after this break.
Hey Future Pros! In the depths of Inferno today with a util set to take top mid. You will need a smoke, molly, and a flash for this one. Throw the long smoke, get into the corner of the bench and aim at the top of this white decal. Run forward and jump throw the smoke. Then pull out your molly and aim in the middle of this metal railing. As you jump throw, tap your move right key, as this will allow the molly to land deeper under the balcony. Finally, toss your flash against the wall to push anyone still close to shore back to the side, and then take some space. A nifty, simple utility set, and I'm sure you'll find some success with it.
You may call it a virus, but we call it the antidote. It's an answer to silence. The future is here to revolt.
How can NACS get back on track? That's a really hard question right now, and I think that I know people say that practice is limited because they can't play against European teams, which I think is a problem, which is why I'm glad that some of the European teams came this recent Philadelphia land, started helping out there. But in my opinion, like we just need to stop with some excuses and just start playing better personally, because like even in the FPL in the region, like the way we play there is just like not how CS should be played, and people are a little lazy. So I think at the end of the day, it's up to the players, but obviously the circumstances suck because they can't play against like the tier 1 CS, so it's kind of hard for them, but it is up to the players. I think that we just need to change and get better, and that's the only way.
Admirable words there from Grim Chad, and they're going to have to get a lot better here to pull this one back. They find themselves 10-5 down on their own pick.
That is a fantastic little segment there from Grim. Get him on the phone with Jason Bozo Tool. Get those words down Jason's ear, you know, because all I'm hearing from Jason is bucket loads of tears. Grim, on the other hand, he's going to put in the hard work.
Well, let's get into the second half, ladies and gents. We do have, of course, Complexity now on the CT side. They should have a slightly better chance. We'll see Blame F for the P250. And he is doing unspeakable things with the pistol there. JT just hunting for information. Gets a lot more than he bargained for, I would say. As we go back into a 4-on-4, there is a kill in response. That's from Grim. Floppy holds towards B, and he is alone for now. Holzer rotating in. They've actually gained so much real estate here towards B. There's nothing Floppy can do.
Nothing at all here. Has to hope he gets greeted ahead. He spots one. I love the little movement right there to bait him across. But look at the totem stack on the coffins. They're going to be able to go, well, 2 for 1 in favor of Complexity here. And Grim hits a banger. It's just Config. He's coming from CT spawn. He's been identified as well. They just need to defuse the bomb. It's going to be a 10-second defuse. Config's knocked off the first. The tree kill at the neck. He's got time for this. He's got time to push in and deny. He thinks he's faking it. He's going to sit it. And in his face, Floppy wins the round. But only just for Complexity here.
Balls of steel for Floppy. Config could have just ran around the corner and taken it for free, essentially, but he doesn't trust his judgment. And there we have it. The 10-second defuse prevails. And it will be Complexity answering back. The bomb was planted, 4 kills found. You can almost guarantee a buy-in response here.
Config has an AK with head armor.
Yeah.
Look at the hang time on this. Blame, what a shot that was onto JT. They're trying to pin him down. No, you guys are locked in banana with me, not the other way around. And Config doing a lot of damage here, but you can see this is like bluffing in poker at this point, right? It's like, yeah, do you really believe what I've got? You know, I'm acting like I got a pocket aces.
Damn. Well, a very exciting finish to the first round of the second half. JT, well, he said he likes to be tricky with the grenades, and the flashbang is a perfect example of it. Flashbang completely destroys Config there, and nothing can be done. They have to just push the issue towards middle now.
Yeah, that was a great effort as a team there. They swung out, they took the fight, they get the kill. They isolate Banana, the rotation freed up back towards the site. Top mid is the biggest issue now, and slinks into place with the MP9 perfectly. The Famus should be the next to take contact towards long. And the jiggle should be enough. The dink, just hide. Pressure is coming, but so the rotation can too. Oh, and Farley looking for a gap here. Hasn't blown us away on the AWP, but a move like this could change the tide of this.
With the dink, they're right back in this round. Alzok has to fall back, and it's actually towards B they seem to be adjusting to. Maybe a bit of a banana split here.
But they have to know that Farley's through. And Floppy is, you can see already, looking towards that play. Now, if they smoke CT and coffins,
true,
JT's going to have to turn around and then Farley can activate. But do they go first or do they let Farley play? 35 seconds, these are the questions.
Well, here we go. Glaive to lead the charge, as you would expect. And Floppy just trying to be a nuisance here towards the new boxes. Actually doing a very good job of holding them off for now, but it's back to a 3-on-3.
Deep smoke, they have
very
to
deep
banana.
smoke. Yeah, well, they will be. Absolutely true. One flashbang between them, but it's incredible pace. The flash will have to go over. They'll send the rifles in. And we have got Farley very low indeed. There's a flashbang. Here comes the swing. Can they capitalize upon this? They once had the advantage, but it's slipping away from them now. Blame F brings the round ever closer in favor of Astralis. Grim and Fang remain. They do not have a kit currently. They're doing damage here towards the coffins, but time is of the essence. Past the halfway point now. It looks like their chances are running thin, Chad. Might just have to give in. Fang waits patiently towards the pool position, but Farlig surely takes him down. Got the information here, and there it is. That's going to conclude. And a very good job from Astralis there. Spotting that gap towards CT spawn. The banana split comes in eventually. Not the cleanest finish, but they get the job done.
Yeah, it was handled. Like, Farley did what he needed to do. You can see how awkward it got, and I was a little bit concerned with Glaive's forward presence, but it drew the fight, and it gave Farley that little window. So here it is. JT drops down because his boost gets identified. He knows that he can't stay in that position. They can then focus fire towards the back of the site, and as soon as Fang makes it across the pool, there's no way forward. So Floppy with a bit of frustration there. That's not how they wanted to stick the landing. 11-6, the buy-in, and yeah, this is going to be rough around the edges.
Winnable, but
winnable, sure. 4B.
4B, one rifle, Grim with the utility as well. Might want to give that out to the teammates, and there it is. Definitely want to create that reservoir of utility towards the first oranges. They're actually going to fall back, so they've left Floppy with all those grenades, and hopefully he can suggest there's more players than there actually is. But it might not matter. It's the MAC-10 leading the charge here. It's actually looking very good. The CTs have done tremendous work here. They'll have to fight and push forward through the flames, but it's actually looking like they've taken the round here. Just Farley remaining, and he'll be detected as well. So a bit too much pace there from Astralis, perhaps, Chad.
I don't know what they were reacting to, but it was very fortunate for Complexity with the re-rotation in Arch. They couldn't have found a better timing on that mid-push.
They were just setting up. They were just enabling Floppy to have all those grenades towards B, and they will come back and set up towards A. It's caught everyone top of middle.
They got very lucky there.
Lucky for sure, but they'll take it all day long.
Well, we got the Force by Wars on here, real thick and fast. It's going to be going into round number 4 of consistent buys from both of these teams. Farley this time is going to be conceding so he can get the AWP out. That's what Halzerk was doing in the previous. So we've got some Deagles, some Tech-9s, and light util, but this is looking much better for Complexity. You saw Floppy in the previous looking like, man, we really stuffed up. And this time around, he's like, well, we're actually gods.
That actually probably worked out better for us in a way. But here we have it. As you mentioned, the Force buy. Astralis still with the 11-7 lead, but round number 19 certainly not in their favor. Speculative shots through the smoke from Config, nothing connecting just yet. A passive setup here, to say the very least, for Complexity. They've got 2 players towards the pits, Halzerk towards the library. They're not giving anything away, not even investigating. Just let them have top of middle.
Just reeks of an apps pop, doesn't it? With the amount of smokes they have, they could smoke off the bike, do a moto smoke and a long smoke. They don't have HEs like we enjoyed FTW doing. That was one of their highlight strategies. There's the long smoke.
Towards quad we go. Flashes to be deployed, but a good response so far for Complexity. Plugging the holes, ensuring the T's gone flood on towards the bomb side. It's all about Fang right now. Really nice position, but
Henry.
Not the best shots. Still absolutely fine. He's got a player in towards the app to deal with. A great grenade. That makes up for it. Grim will join him in towards the pits, and it looks like everything's under control. I said that with bated breath. Zipex will pull one back. And now the P250 starting to make things very interesting. Zipex, clutch minister of days gone by. Now in a 2 versus 1, a winnable one as well. Low HP towards Halzerk, and unfortunately for him, he has to reload. The full defuse will come in, Chad. No chance now. A valiant effort, but unfortunately doesn't really work out for him.
If he wins that first fight, Halzerk's so low, and even though it's not planted for him, it's likely Zip could win that. So a very close one indeed. Remember, that was a force, but the Force by Wars will come to rest. No more issues with trade in the Galactica.
Nice nade from Fang. Well, like, missed the first few shots. They were difficult ones, to be fair, but ensured the round was under control.
That was almost like jumping on the grenade for your teammates, because that grenade, if it went deeper in the site, I could only imagine how much residual damage that would have done to the 3 players clustered up.
So, the bomb was planted at least, but that Force buy ultimately led to defeat. So, Desert Eagles P250s, a couple of flashes, and they'll hold up, just bleed out some utility from the CT side, and maybe yield some headshots, as that's a remarkable shot from Config.
There's one thing we tend not to do against an eco, and that's pick T-stairs with an AWP.
True. Fair enough.
I know that it sounds crazy. The AWP should always beat the pistols, but it's a Deagle, guys. It's a Deagle. One of the most iconic guns in the history of the game. It's crazy. Watch what it does. This is the showcase.
Don't give him another one.
You guys want a Deagle? It only costs $700. Get one of your own. Get yourself an AWP. Get a couple more Deagle kills. Pick up that AWP and kill everybody, because right now, Config looking to destroy the hopes and dreams. The Force by Wars were meant to be over.
This wasn't even a Force buy, Chad. This is just P250 Deagle, no armor.
What a showcase for the $700 hand cannon right there. Pick one up every day of the week. No dynamic pricing here. We've been done with that.
Danish players and their deadly Desert Eagles. It's a tale as old as time, has to be said. Config demonstrating the raw power there, and a lovely little no-scope towards Grim as well. That's all Config. Loving that one. We all are. And it's a full eco now for Complexity. That's a huge round. That's huge.
Shouldn't punch monitors, all right? They're
no.
Very expensive.
Yes, that's fair.
Be kind to your monitors, everybody.
Punch the desk.
Yeah, the desk aren't going to hit back. And it doesn't... Well, actually, I don't know how much a desk costs, but I'd say the monitor has more value. So they can just waltz into B, guys. So if you're at home, you want to get involved in the conversation, use the hashtag ESL Pro League, tag @HenryG CSGO, @SpongeSPUNJ, and let us know what you're up to on this Wednesday afternoon at approximately 4:44 CEST. Maybe you're watching from somewhere else in the world, like America or Canada.
Could be happening.
Maybe the Down Under.
Could also be possible. Maybe some South African fans out there.
That's true.
Considering they've got a couple of representations there in the form of the coach and, of course, JT. Coach called TC, I believe.
Yes.
So,
2-letter names. They're all the rage in South Africa, I've heard.
So, USP's trying to cause a dent if possible. Config, though, should make light work of them, I dare say, as he'll be spraying his AK off wildly. And Lock should finish off Grim there. Didn't stand a chance, as this round will end any second now, promise you that. Just want to get this one out the way.
This will be the bomb, surely. The smoke's going to fade after the bomb blows up. Oh, Halzerk, thank you. We'll take that as well. 24 kills now for Blame. Astralis in the driver's seat of this one. 3 rounds until they confirm map 1.
Well, there we have it. 13-8, touching distance now on their opponent's map pick. Nuke coming up second. Well, I dare say Astralis will be very comfortable indeed. We'll see. We get into round number 22, how this one concludes. Fang with the FAMAS, they are lacking some key bits of utility, mainly the kits. Helmet's also an issue against 2 silenced M4s on the T side. There will be now insta-gibbed if they take a headshot. No dinks allowed.
I'd say the best round that Complexity have won is where JT got that triple kill.
That was a lovely round.
Yeah, and that's the unfortunate factor of all this. So identifying there was 3B, a bit more A pressure now. Half-full utility has been expended, and that's quite early. For 1:27 on the clock without any real banana pressure, that's going to give Astralis a lot of information for free. It's just to point at another smoke top of B, Henry. There's not even anybody in banana. Blame is at the base of banana. Floppy's already rifling through all of his utility. If I'm Blame, I'm saying, yo, boss man, they've already used 2 smokes over here. Oh, the peek in. The dink's not bad. The pressure's here.
Dink could be false info, though, because it didn't actually give Dink damage. It only takes Flavor to 81.
They have to go now.
It's just going to be Floppy to defend. He's playing in front of the smoke, and this is going to get a little bit awkward for him. So there it is. A chance, though, JT. I don't think we'll be given another one. The smoke will go down, and spraying through the smoke. They're hoping for the best, but do they just have to give in? Remember, they had no kits in this one, Chad, so better to save the weapons, I would say. And that's boring conclusion for Complexity fans because they don't even get a look into the round. Just 1 kill. As you mentioned, Floppy didn't really have much to defend with. Burned from his utility pretty early on. Gets taken down. An awkward interaction there. Maybe if he gets 1.5, they could justify going for it, but if Hattie gets nothing at all, they're better off just trying to take the weapons into the next round.
I think one of the other issues here for Complexity is once upon a time, if you were playing against Glaive and Zip on Inferno and Nuke, the series was already over.
True.
So the fact we have Nuke up next as well, with the confidence like this, with how Blame and Config are playing right now, let's assume that they don't slow down. There'll be real issues as we move into home turf for the Danes.
Well, there we have it. They'll at least keep 4 rifles up, one of which is the FAMAS. They'll have another chance to buy some more utility this time, hopefully a couple of kits so they can justify some of these retakes. And haven't seen much in the form of aggression on the CT side like we were seeing from Astralis. They haven't really got comfortable yet, to be fair. Only winning the pistol and the 3rd and 4th round, 4 spy follow-ups. No real gun rounds going in favor of the North Americans so far. I'll be back on the AWP here for round number 23, getting to the bookend of this first map. How about best of 3? The pick of Complexity not going too well at this stage. Chad mentioned they had a couple of impressive rounds from individuals, but lacking in gun rounds in total.
That Grim piece was nice. I don't know if he said it or if they cut it.
Right.
It's like we took a map off the best team in the world who didn't have the best player at the time.
Yeah, they did leave that key bit of information out there. Like, Simple wasn't on the server and it was a best of 1. But yeah, it's still confident. If you don't say it, it's still going to boost the confidence. You don't mention those parts.
Well, this is JT again. And if he can just keep killing everybody, there might be a chance here for the in-game leader. 3 on 4. Space. Well, they've got a bit to work with. Zip needs to hit this shot. He has a full bag of util that's now all for naught. So that is going to be a little bit of a stiff ending for him as Config wants to be the space maker here. We'll have to do a lot of work with that flash and through it. Good team play there from Complexity. This one isn't done yet. Yeah, I don't think we're expecting Farley to get a whole lot done with the AWP.
Definitely not, but there it is, a pretty clean one from Complexity. Didn't have to break too much of a sweat. Only 1 player gets dropped, and they are within touching distance of double digits here. Astralis still have to make map points. Still 1 more required until they're there. Can be the hardest round to find. And they're still with a full buy for now. And they've got 1 buy in the bank as well. So here we go then. So maybe Complexity finding their footing, a bit of confidence after that one. Haven't got themselves an orb just yet. And here we go, the aggression we were looking for. And Farley will make light work of the first player. That's Fang. He wants a bit more as well. Is he going to go through this smoke? No, falls back.
Good call off here because now with this number advantage, just allow the round to play out. He will go for a banana pick. It looks like he's being instructed to do so. They're flashing him to fight for territory here. But there is no rush, realistically, now for Astralis. They can take their time. And I guess while this is happening, we can talk about TC. I think he's the coach that smiles the most out of all coaches.
Yeah, very, very kind smile. Always looks happy behind them. That's what you want to see.
He smiles the most as a player, I would say.
Yeah,
Well, this is the round. If they push and die, Complexity is screwed, but the kills, they could change the script, and nobody seems too ready for this. Farley's AWP does strike again, the push through, and now B should be open for business. The last two marooned on A on an island. Looking for Tom Hanks.
That's a Castaway reference, I believe. Right?
Could have gone with Wilson, but I went with Tom Hanks. That way no one can question
No discrepancies there. We can know exactly what he's talking about. Tom Hanks was indeed the actor in that film.
Had a big beard.
Had a beard, and I think he was suffering from a lot of different issues out there.
Yeah.
Cuts in his legs, illnesses.
Couldn't
Eating coconuts, I believe.
You get scurvy eventually. Actually, do you get vitamin C from coconuts?
I would probably. I don't think you can survive on them forever, though. Like, you'd get some sort of nutritional problems, I'd imagine.
That's something that would happen to the pirates, right? On the boats with no vitamin C, they get scurvy.
Take limes with them. That was the thing.
Yes, that's the one.
Limes would last a while, I believe. So.
Well, we're educating you on things we don't really know, everybody, but we're
That's all, really.
It.
That's just the remnants of my education coming through. That's about it.
We do have a whole bunch of people who are tweeting in. There's a whole bunch of tweeting.
Oh, really?
Going
I haven't
on.
actually checked it. Let's have a look.
Somebody's having a burger. Unforgotten's having a burger right now. I got gifted a burger by Heaton for their birthday. Oh, that's nice.
How does that work?
I'm not sure. I don't know the details. Dodge, he's watching at 10:46 p.m. While Dota qualifiers are going on. He's getting his fix of Counter-Strike before bed. So have a good night's sleep. There's a lot of people with attraction here. We'll have to read it in the break because this game, I think it's coming to its logical conclusion.
It looks like it. For a moment, there was about 3 rounds in the first half. So, wow, we're really onto something here. This could be a fantastic one. Complexity are keeping it even. But as time goes on, you can see that distance is getting further and further away. Astralis just need one, and Complexity with a mishmash buy here for masses once again. Lacking key pieces of the utility setup, and Zipex, well, this is that one.
He beamed that one, didn't he? This isn't going to go well for Config, I don't think. There's 3 prongs and the first strikes. I'm surprised at the amount of unsilenced M4s we're seeing on the board here as well. That's another talking point that is going to continue to, well, not play Counter-Strike. I guess it is play Counter-Strike when that's all we seem to talk about, but there's a 4-on-5 available here. Avoid the nade damage down Banana. A B finish, probably the best option.
I don't hate it, Chad. I don't hate it at all, because you have the man advantage really no matter what. Even if they cheat a player across, you've got 4 players going in. You're showing a little bit of presence here with the flashbangs. Now, you're not going to rotate if you're a CD player for a good 10 seconds after receiving one of those. You're calling, there's at least one here on this side of the map. He could be Apps, could be Boiler, we're not sure. Either way, I'm flashed, and the B execution will be coming in momentarily. So, Blameout from up here as well can Molotov from some key positions, namely towards Emo. And we'll see if he stays up there.
Are they fully out of util on the B side? I don't see anything between JT or Floppy here. Now, Blame's just made steps. The rotation from Halzerk needs to be quick. He has nades to bail them out, but really needs to get a move on here.
They're in trouble. It's the FAMAS at the back towards the pillar as well. Floppy trying to inflict any sort of damage he can. There's a decent flashbang, though. That's from Halzerk on the rotation. Throws out from Spawn, but the defending players go down. Back to a 3-on-3, an even kill, and Halzerk makes himself known. He'll need some fortune here. A no-scope through the smoke is the only thing that will do, and there's no saving at this point, Chad. They have to go for it to survive here on Inferno.
All right, well, the flash from Fang is going to be the way back in. That's been lobbed down to the AWP Halzerk that needs to be able to activate here from the Coffin's position, and he's already dead as a doorknob. Zipple have taken him down. Farley peeks out. He's gone. A 2-on-2 still as a nade lands at the feet here. They're just going to stand and fight. It's Zip to get this one done, and time is starting to tick further and further. Zip's under so much pressure. They're charging him down. 6 bullets in the gun. He needs to get both kills here, and Zip, the clutch minister, guess what? Oh, dear.
How's he alive?
Isn't there time for this? The clock comes out. Zip, he's going to do it. Rolling up after years, and that's going to be 17 kills in total, 16 rounds as Astralis close it down.
Yeah, you're talking about Chad when he was doing that sort of thing, but I loved it all the same. He gets the job done. It wasn't the prettiest finish, but they couldn't either. Everyone ran out of bullets, and it will be Astralis picking up the map pick of Complexity. Now, the scoreline suggests it wasn't that competitive, and I dare say the second half wasn't. Complexity couldn't keep up with the pure fragging power of Blame F & Co. It sets the scene for the rest of the best of 3, and we'll move on to Nuke. We'll see if Complexity can fight back after this break.